Hello, good morning and welcome to today's daily report market analysis videos with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec on Friday the 21st of June. There's an interesting look to markets today. The markets have obviously been reacting in the last few days to the Federal Reserve meeting. The dovish outlook from the Federal Reserve really did hit the dollar. You can see that in the last couple of days. We've had the sharp move lower on the dollar index. However, starting to find a little bit of support today. The tick higher on the euro is basically on the back of the flash PMIs on the eurozone coming in better than expected, higher than expected. However, aside from that, there is a slight air of dollar regaining a bit of ground a bit. You've got the it's gaining against the sterling, gaining against the yen, also across the commodity market and the commodity currencies as well. And it's interesting that what we've had this morning is that the big movers in the last few days, which has been gold and the yen, have started to unwind a little bit. Now, gold is the prime one to look out for. Gold actually spiked to 1410 this morning, just above 1410. It's actually unwound over 20 odd bucks since then. So there would be question marks around how that impacts on the outlook, and you'll see that through my analysis video in a bit, but also my chart today, which is silver. Interesting moves on silver as well. Equity markets remain strong though. The S&P 500 broke to a new all-time high yesterday, 29.54 on a closing basis, all-time high. And we can see that the futures are slightly mixed a little bit today, a little bit lower, just a 0.1%, and that sort of tempered a little bit of the gains that we saw, that we've seen, early doors on the European markets, about 0.2, 0.3% higher. But it'd be interesting to see if this is a move that can continue on these equity markets, because what we have seen is this spike higher on oil in the last couple of days as well. That's coming in as the tensions between the US and Iran over the in the Gulf, the Persian Gulf continue. Now, the downing of a US drone was supposedly about to prompt a response from Donald Trump, but apparently he pulled back from some sort of military action against Iran. So we've seen a bit of fluctuating around the oil price, but certainly the gains on oil are significant, and that's a big breakout actually against on WTI that we've seen. So some really interesting moves that we're seeing in markets at the moment. Now, we've got the flash PMI data today, which is the main focus. We've seen the Eurozone data coming out early morning today. Let me show you how the Eurozone data came through. And it's beaten expectations on the composite PMI to 52.1. Now, that implies a run rate of around about 0.2% growth for the quarter. Which is still not great, but it is a slightly improving look from the last month, which was 51.8. But you've seen that services are better, manufacturing worse. So services are picking up where manufacturing is disappointing. And it all adds up to a slight amount of growth for the Eurozone, but not a great deal. Now, into the afternoon, we're looking out for the US flash PMIs as well. 54.0. Basically around about where we saw last month. 51.0 for the services, again around where we saw last month. But it'd be interesting to see if those numbers beat expectations to the upside at all, or whether the fears over this trade dispute continue to impact negatively on sentiment indicators on these forward-looking soft data points. So. That takes me to my chart today, which, as I said, is silver. Now, silver has had a significant improvement in the last few weeks. Last turnaround with this 4-week uptrend, now breaking out through 1514 as a base pattern. Now, that's interesting because 1514 was an old pivot on silver, basis of resistance, breaking out through 1510, completed base pattern, 1514. And that, interestingly, is the point at which we've seen the market slip back today, but find support. Now, you look at how strong these momentum indicators are. MACD line's accelerating. RSI pulling back from 70, but remains positive above 50. And I would be looking at silver being a buy into weakness. You've got this uptrend that comes in at 1490. Again, another old pivot line support So 1490 is supported with this uptrend between 1490 and 1514. Ideal buying opportunity really on silver. And you've seen the hourly chart just unwind back to levels at which the support has tended to come in recently through this recovery, around 30 on the RSI, unwinding back to neutral on the MACD line. Still, you could argue that there's a corrective move in progress, given the MACD lines unwinding. But as I said, between 1490 and 1514, that looks like a decent area for the recovery to find support. If it can build support in that, then I think that would be a buying opportunity. So this could be a little opportunity today. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today. You've got resistance of today's trading high at 1550, and I will speak to you later.